Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. This is the School of Thought. Thank you for tuning in on this Sunday. We have Yosef Indrael.
Yes, sir. Peace, family. Peace.
We have Brother David Miller, a.k.a. the Black Sheep.
Peace. We are here.
And I myself, the host, Brother Amar, and we are the School of Thought family. For those of you who do not know, we do this show every Sunday at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The access number is 218-339-6430. Again, that's 218-339-6430. The code is 1122. Again, the code is 1122. If you would like to hear any of the prior recordings that we have, you can go to our YouTube channel at BC Empowerment, and you can go to the School of Thought playlist, and you can find it there. B as in boy, C as in cat, EMPOWERMENT. Oh, I got it today, brothers. I hit the spelling right today, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You can find all the prior shows on there. And today's topic we'll be talking about black relationships, family. So we get ready to go in on it. We get ready to hit on some hot topics. I'm talking about talking about interracial relationships. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hit on all the fire topics. You know, homosexual relationships. Is that good for the family? Uh-oh. All right. Yosef Indrael, go ahead and kick the signs, brother.
All right. Well, first of all, peace, family, peace. And glad to be here on another day to talk to the family about a very, very powerful, very interesting topic that affects anybody of color, anybody of color. So we're going to talk about some of the psychological effects of black relationships, how we've been programmed to not want to be together to a degree, some of our people. So, but the first thing I want to start out and talk to my people about today is I want to talk to people about two events that's going on, and one of them is getting ready to happen on the planet right now. The first one, and this is a little bit metaphysical, but I just want to say this real quick. The first one is I want to warn people today not to be scared, but of something called the Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde. I don't know if I ever talked to my cousin or brother David about this, but right now it just the first day of Mercury retrograde was yesterday, and it's going to last until about September 6th, I believe. And for those who don't know what a Mercury retrograde is, I'm going to explain really quick what that is. The Mercury retrograde is a time on the planet where it affects the air element. And you're not supposed to do anything new or create any new ideas or new projects. You're not supposed to start new things during the Mercury retrograde because they tend not to happen. They tend not to work out. And the god Mercury is the messenger of the gods. But Mercury is also an air elemental deity. So in this aspect, we're talking about the planet Mercury. And even scientists know for a fact that the planets have a big influence on our psychology down here as people. So the Mercury retrograde is going to affect you whether you believe it or not. And just to hello?
Mhm. You say it, fam.
Oh, okay. I hear a lot of people in the background. But just to help people understand, the Mercury retrograde, you're not supposed to start anything new, and also it's going to affect electricity. So you're going to notice that you're going to have problems with your phone. You're going to have problems with your internet. You're going to have problems communicating with people. You're going to find yourself getting emotional, very emotional during the Mercury retrograde. Something small can trigger you. Relationships break up during Mercury retrogrades. Relationships start during Mercury retrogrades, which means that they're not going to end. They're not going to end so good during the next Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde affects the way you speak, anything dealing with air. And electricity is also connected to air because electricity deals with the currency, the flowing of energy throughout the air. So I just want to warn people, If you're feeling emotional, you're feeling like you're a little agitated right now in these days, it's because of the Mercury retrograde. I know a lot of people probably feeling like that right now. You either got into a good argument with somebody this week or whatever like that. So just want to warn people about that. You're gonna feel these effects. So pay close attention to your emotions and pay close attention to what you say, because all those things are affected during the Mercury retrograde and your electronic products. The next thing I want to talk about is there's a solar eclipse, a full solar eclipse coming up on August 21st. I want to warn people about that because whenever there's many different types of eclipses, lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, blah, blah, blah. But this is a full solar eclipse, which means the planets actually in the daytime going to look really dark outside. Okay, and I want to warn people because my spiritual teacher, a couple of my spiritual teachers, some I talk about and some I don't, they've been warning about a demonic presence on the planet during this solar eclipse. A lot of negative energy comes to this planet, and we're in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. So I kind of just want to warn people about that, and be very careful in during this month, basically.
I heard Gano Grills and Mitchell Gibson talk about that.
Yes, those two are the main two right now, and there's a few other spiritual teachers of mine that's talking about it. And there's something for people to be mindful of, very mindful of. So I just want to put those two things out there real quick before we started, just to give the people warning, to pay attention to those things. So, I think this is going to be a very good topic today. Since three of us are black men, you know what I'm saying, and we all deal with black females, you know what I'm saying. So, I think it's a very good topic, and I just want to start this conversation out with just asking. Let me not even start it out like that. I'll ask that later. Let me just start out with my opinion about what's going on with the black family and the black relationships in America. And I know for a fact that black love has been on this planet for a long time. And, but when black people went under slavery, black love was almost banned. They didn't want to promote it. They didn't want people watching it. So I want people to understand that sometimes the way we feel about our women, and I've had some deep conversations with some brothers, the way they feel about our own sisters, and a lot of them feel like the black women are too dominant. You know what I'm saying? They're too controlling. And I always tell these brothers, this is because you have to take control. She wants you to take control to a degree. She wants you to man up. And that's the best type of woman for you. And that's what a lot of our people don't understand. That's the best type of woman for you. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to ask you brothers, what do you guys think black love really is? Like, how do you guys envision black love? And what do you guys think love is? Black love, however you want to describe it. And I think I'll start with Brother David.
Oh, wow. You want to start with me?
Come on, Black Sheep. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, give us a black sheep answer. Give us a black sheep answer.
All right. Let me start out like this, because I know Brother Amar, he always go in like this. I ain't got no old ladies. So right now, I'm going to say thank you to all the black women that thank you to all the black women that love me. I ain't got no wife. But okay. I had some powerful women in my life, and they did show me some love. And what I mean by black love is, they understand, for the most part, the struggles that I'm going through as a black man. So when I talk about it, they listen with an understanding ear. And the love comes in where we know we got to eat. So how we going to eat? Thank you for cooking. We know that there's certain physical desires a man have for a woman all the time, because I be looking at her. So boom, we got to take care of that. And then emotionally, everything might seem to be easy, but it's not, because people deal with traumatic situations where, and I ain't talking about none of this pedophilia stuff. I'm talking traumatic as in, not me personally, but in certain degrees, a person ain't never was told they was good at anything. They always been told that they ain't nothing. So when you have love, you tell a person that you are something, you know, and you instill in them the black love that I'm thinking about. You instill in them and you grant them permission to be in your circumference, be in your area. If you don't love a person, you can't just come sit on my toilet. You know, you can't just come sit at my dining room table. So that's love when you're allowing somebody to be in your space. You telling them that you're a good person. Oh, you need help? I got you. So
that's right.
You, meaning whatever you're doing, I'm behind you. So
that's right. That's right. Absolutely, brother.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think black love is. And then the word black in front of love is pronounced.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pronounced. It's pronounced because we all know that we must stick together. That's why it's pronounced in the front, black love.
Yes, sir. Okay. Brother Murray?
Well, you know, it's an affection, as we all know. It's an affection that one has for the opposite sex, the romance. It's a desire to have a commitment, and I would like to say a lifetime commitment, a lifetime friendship, romantic friendship with someone of the opposite, you know, sex, someone that you want to build a life with, to build your dynasty with, you know what I'm saying, to have children with, you know, to build your financial life with. You know, it's a action word. You know, it's something, you know, that you don't just say. It's something that you actually do. You know, I know what my brother meant about, you know, black love. I know exactly what we mean by what we're saying. You know, to love our people, to love our women, to you know, support our women. You know, as Brother David so well said. You know, to listen. It's so many facets to love, man, because love is not just one thing. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because a lot of times in a man's mind, because they haven't been educated properly, you know, we look at, well, I'm paying the bills. I believe that love is tending to that woman's emotion, catering to her soul.
Right.
Her soul. It's a soul tie. It's more than a physical thing, because we all know you can have sex with somebody and not be in love with them.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's really giving of your soul, man. It's giving of yourself. It's not the flesh, man. It's a soul thing. You know what I'm saying? You want your wife to feel that energy. You want your fiance to feel that energy. You want your girlfriend to feel that energy. You know what I'm saying? You want her to know in her heart, because you listen to her, because you pay attention to her habits. You know what I'm saying? You know when your wife and fiance and girlfriend is not feeling well. Why? Because you watch her mannerisms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know when something is disturbing her. Why? Because you watch her mannerisms. In fact, you can even say what she's allergic to and what she's not allergic to, because you pay attention to the fine details of, you know, your woman.
Right.
You know, you listen to her opinion. You know what I'm saying? You allot her that space. You know, you don't put your hands on her, you know, unless you're trying to help her or to romantically, physically, you know what I'm saying, do something to her, not to harm her in any way, shape, or form or fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To verbally, you know, I would say empower her. You know what I'm saying? Not to speak condescendingly to her, because, again, you can do, you know, you can pay the bills, you know, you can do the physical labor around the house. However, that woman can still feel lonely in that home because you're not catering to her soul. That's the reason why I say it's first spiritual. It's first spiritual.
Yeah, you know. And
I'll leave some room for you too, brother.
yeah, it's all good. You know, I just love to hear brothers the reason why I ask you, brother, I'd love to hear brothers' different opinions and views on you know, relationships and how they feel about women and love and different things like that. You know, I'm a poet at heart, so I love and I believe poetry is a way to look at a person's soul. You know what I'm saying? And when they up there on that stage, pumping out that poetry, you know, they just giving you their soul, who they really are, and I love it like that. So, you know, I think love is one of them topics that really expresses a person, you know. So today we talk about black love. So, you know, another thing I wanted to add to is that, you know, when it comes to relationships, you know, it's really, relationships are also really a science. And, you know, one thing that has plagued the black community a lot is that, you know, being that African Americans were taught to hate themselves, you know, they're also, when you look at your woman, that's a part of you. So to a degree, you were taught also how to hate the reflection of yourself. And vice versa, the women were taught how to hate their men. And this is why they, you know, in slavery, they pulled men apart with horses, limb by limb, right in front of a pregnant woman, so that the fear that she felt went down into the baby. You know what I'm saying? And the baby came out already fearing the slave master. You know what I'm saying? Already had fear of the slave master. So they want to show the black woman, like, look, your man can't save you. Your man can't do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? And this is, to a degree, the same psychological concept they have in the world today, where they lock black men up, you know, and they let the black woman know this type of man right here can't save you. You know, he can't do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? He's done. He's finished. You know, all your black men in jail, so you might as well get one of these white men. You know, and just to be clear, you know, I'm one of those people. I believe in, hey, love who you want. If somebody makes you happy, it's cool. But I'm not going to sit here and lie there. I'll say I'd rather have my daughter date a black man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to deny my daughter of love. If she say, well, Daddy, I love this white man, I say, well, okay, honey, well, we got to sit down and talk first. You know, and I'm going to sit down and talk with that white guy and say, look, this is what it is. You know, just understand that when my daughter has a child, that baby going to be a black baby. You know what I'm saying? And this is how you need to psychologically raise that baby. You know what I'm saying? So we're living in a world today. I had a conversation with a woman at one of my morning jobs. She was telling me just in the 1960s and 70s, you wouldn't dare see a mixed race couple walking down the street. It was just impossible. You just didn't see it. If they did it in secret. And then today you have two men walking down the street holding hands, two women walking out. You can see anything walking down the street today holding hands. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and we're gonna get into that too. You know what I'm saying? And some people may not like my opinion on it, but I'm just gonna, I can't lie. I'm one of them dudes. I can't lie. I gotta be real. You know what I'm saying about how I feel about it. So, you know, and people disagree with my opinion on homosexuality, lesbianism, stuff like that. But you know, we'll get into that. But you know, one thing I did want to say is that you know, we have to understand that when two black people get together, we are relating to each other. And that whole time that we're spending together, we're learning how to relate to each other. You understand? That's what we need to be doing. We need to be learning a woman, and a woman needs to be learning a man. Most people make sex the basis of a relationship, and this is the vast majority of our people. Well, he made a pipe good, so he got to be a good man. You know what I'm saying? Well, he's a professional pipe layer. You know what I'm saying? He got to be a good. That's it. He got to be one. Exactly. And what people don't know from a scientific perspective, that when you have sex with a person, right, if you're not doing it the correct way, you usually obtain something called earth love. It's what I call earth love. There's two levels of love. You have cosmic love, which comes from the higher creator. You can't deny that love. Usually people only experience that type of love through their parents or through when they have their first child. They never experience that love again, some people. You know, that's the love that makes you do something for somebody even though that person not doing nothing for you. Only love can make a person take care of a child, and a child can't do nothing for him at that point. You see what I'm saying? But when you invest love into something, it's supposed to bring you something back. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to give you a refund. It's supposed to give you a investment back. So it's the same thing when you plant a seed in the ground. You water it every day. You wake up every morning early. You water it. You give it what it needs. You surround it with the fertilizer. You give it everything it needs, and that tree grows up and gives you an apple. gives you nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how true love is. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are dealing on earth love, and earth love only lasts about 2 or 3 years if you're lucky. 2 to 3 years. And cosmic love is something that could never be broken. It lasts forever. You know, and in the metaphysical community, we have something called twin flames. You know, the twin flame energy. Twin flames can never be broken up. You have soulmates, and then you have twin flames, which are on a higher level. Twin flames share the same soul. They really are the same person. Okay? The best physical example of a twin flame on Earth is twins. When you have twins, whether y'all fraternal twins or whether y'all are identical twins, you guys are twin flames. Y'all really are the same person that has manifested itself into 2 people, or sometimes 3 people, or sometimes today you got 8 quadruplets or whatever they call them. You know, you got 8 people. You know, so we have to understand when you eat good food, when you have good sex, when you have a good laugh, it releases dopamine. Dopamine is the same chemical that's released when you smoke crack. You know, when you smoke marijuana. You know, when you have something good that gives you pleasure, you know, like I said, good sex, good food, good laugh, that gives you dopamine. So a lot of people's relationships are based off of good sex. He makes me laugh, but he's not bringing anything to the table. You understand what I'm saying? He's not investing. He's not investing. Right. He makes you feel good, which means that he creates an illusion. One of my teachers told me, he said, Joe, be careful who you give your love to. And I said, why? He said, because a love that's not returned the same way back is a confused love. And I said, what does that mean? He said, it's an illusion. People are living in illusionary love situations. You know, the man not giving them nothing financial, he's not making a woman better in no kind of way. That's how you sisters need to judge these men, and that's how men need to judge the sisters. But mostly, the sisters need to judge the men this way. If he's not investing something into you that's making you a better woman, or if she's not investing something into you that's making you a better man, that's not the person for you.
Absolutely.
Let me add into that. Another layer to what we're talking about on relationship. We spoke about heterosexual relationship, but love, period, is a sense of duty and responsibility to the person that you that you're in love with, and
right.
You know, the Bible teaches us the agape.
Not agape, brother. Not agape.
The agape is a big one. But you got that's a brotherly love, and you got friendly love. So, you know, I just wanted to say another layer to what we're talking about is the sense of duty and responsibility to the people that you got in your circle that you love. That's love, and you have a responsibility to them. You know, you don't want to see them hurt.
Yes, and love manifests itself in different ways. You know, love can be, people could be happy. They could feel happiness. They could feel joy. But they can have a sense of peace, and they may think they're in love. You know what I'm saying? But that is just a type of love. Love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, you know, meekness. These are all aspects of love, characteristics of love.
That's right.
You know, and then there's a higher love that really can't be named. That's the closest thing to the Creator. This is why people, when they have sex, they say, let's get together and make love. Because, I mean, I'm going to get a little scientific on this one, or metaphysical. But when 2 people are having sex, this is what's happening, right? Everybody in their body has something called the Kundalini system, the Kundalini energy. And this is actually what you're feeling while you're having sex. So some people say, well, I can't feel energy. I don't think energy exists. But when you have sex, you feel energy. It ain't just a good feeling. People feel all these rushes, going through their body. You understand what I'm saying? So what happens is your Kundalini energy raises up. And it raises up to a point where you actually, when a woman has an orgasm, or men don't have orgasms. That's another thing. They think they do. A woman is a champ in that bedroom. You know what I'm saying? This is why studying tantric arts and tantric sex is so important, so a man can learn how to hold his seed. Because most men don't understand. Every time you ejaculate, you actually kill yourself. You're actually giving away your life force every time you ejaculate. So some men walk around and say, man, I hit that and I hit that. No, she hit you. She hit you. You think you hit that. Because you don't understand the science of it. You think you hit that, but she just sucked all your life force out. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you ain't make no baby, you ain't even do nothing with that life force. Because understand that when a man ejaculates, he's pulling from his heart, his liver, his kidney, every vital organ in your body is pulling from to create this sperm, which are living entities. You know what I'm saying? And you're pulling from all your life force just to create this one shoot of it, we call ejaculation. So a woman can have an orgasm. That's something deeper. That's something higher. Men just ejaculate. Now, a man can have an orgasm, but a man got to be trained to do that. And if a man never experienced that, he most likely ain't going to be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to be in it for whoever seen the movie Blake Man. You know what I'm saying? When the homegirl touching, he on the ground just stuck. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell y'all another secret, right? And this goes into this tantric arts. And as a metaphysician, yes, I had to practice some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? With my wife, you know, not just a random woman. With my wife, you know, we're both in the metaphysics, so we had to practice some of these tantric arts. And we actually did that when I wanted to have my daughter, because I wanted to pull a soul from a higher dimension. I wanted to bring my daughter from a higher dimension. There's different spiritual things you can do to do that. So, long story short, I forgot all about to say now. I hate when I get going like that, and I be, you know, thinking some stuff.
That's what I'm thinking about. You know, you start thinking about what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, you lost the train of thought, man.
Right. Exactly. I was like, oh man, I remember that day. You know, but
yeah. Can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir.
It's on the metaphysical level as well. But I was talking to someone, and they put me on game about white women, if we're talking interracial. And specifically, we're talking about Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. So we were talking about how the Armenian women are descendants of witches that did witchcraft and stuff. And what you're saying, I believe that, man. I believe that they is sucking out of your life force. And the thing about it, the porn industry has learned how to do that as well, man. Because, you know, I had a little fetish for white girls for a few years, and I was like, dang, I want to get me some white girl, you know, whatever. But it may be true, it may not be true, but white women are trained to drain your brother of all your stuff. They were trained to do that and to pretty much manipulate and suck you from your true self and pull that energy out of you and to keep you under a brainwash like the movie Get Out. You know, they using sex as magic. You know, that's
right.
Physical, using sex as magic. And they keeping you under, because I remember when black women wouldn't give no head. But white women was like, we must get these men off, and when they get off, they're going to give us what we want. And show them that's this formula. So that's powerful what you said, brother. That's powerful what you said, but and since we here, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. That's powerful what you said. And I'm going to explain that. You know?
Put it on the table, man.
That's powerful what you said, because some people need to hear this just so they can understand what's going on. So we're gonna talk about this real quick, right? You know, on a metaphysical level, I sent my cousin and I sent Brother David some information yesterday, I believe it was, about the what people call Baphomet, evil symbol, right? Now I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? I showed them evidence in a book that the thing that everybody's scared of represents the black man. The Negro man. They also call him the Turks man, the Turkish man. They also call him the Negro head. They also called it the head of knowledge. The head of knowledge. And they also called the head of knowledge where? In the West. In the West. So, I'm going to just tell y'all the truth. When they do a lot of these sexual orgies and stuff like that, a lot of times they'll always want a black man in there. Now, the question is why? And this is no offense to our people, but either you get mad at science or you get mad at the truth. Either way, the truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to say it like this. And if people don't believe me, if they not scared, they can go research these books themselves. See, I'm not scared. I know the truth. They write about it in the books. So long story short, the black man is the son of God. Okay? This is how witchcraft and people in these orgy things, these like for example, they call this man Aleister Crowley the most evilest man that ever lived. He was nothing but a sex wizard. Okay, he got booked he got all these different books, 777 and the book of the law, which they say love is law in that book and all this stuff. Long story short, they understood that sex is a very powerful thing. Now, in black people's body, you have to understand, you have the original blueprint for a soul. And the reason why is that because you have melanin. You have melanin inside of your body. Melanin is the key element of life. It's carbon. Okay, you have an extreme high level of it to the point where it's even, they understand that it's even stardust. Now, everybody has melanin, right? Everybody has melanin. So everybody has a soul. Okay? Everybody has that soul. But everybody doesn't have the original blueprint of a soul. So these witches and stuff in these groups, yes, they have men ejaculate and do all this stuff because they understand the seed that the black man gives is eternal life. It is a higher level of life force. So a lot of these times, and black men need to be careful because a lot of these white women that black men get with be witches.
Yeah.
They just don't know it. They just don't know it. You know what I'm saying? They just don't know it. So that's a form of worship they do in satanic cults and some of these secret society cults. I know it sounds like some crazy dark stuff, but this is what's going on. Yeah. This is what's going on. Now, there's another book called The Witches. Oh, man, I can't remember the name of the author, but it's a book called The Witches. In the book, they say the black woman is God. And the black man is the son of God. There's another book called The Black Sun. I gave you out one book called The Black Sun. There's another book called The Black Sun. And on the front of it, you're going to see a black man with a goat head, and you're going to see naked white women all around him. That's right. This is the science of what they do in secret. This is the science of what they do in secret. So when you see this stuff happening, there's a certain reason why that's happening. Certain reason why that's happening. So now the next thing I wanted to say was this, going back to the tantric stuff. And I'm going to just go with the flow. Since we got on the sex topic, I'm just go with the flow. Every woman in the bedroom is what. Now, Adam had a wife, right? Adam had a wife called Eve. Everybody know that. But what people don't know is that Adam had his first wife was actually called Lilith. I know it ain't in the Bible, but people do their research, they'll find out. This is Jewish mysticism. And if you read the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, the Bible says that God created man in his own image and his own likeness and told him to be fruitful and multiply. Then in chapter 2, it says the Lord God, that's a different title, created man from the dust of the ground. The dust of the ground. Now, you got Christians out there that bring up ideas and their own interpretation of it, and they'll try to get you to believe it. But I've always been one of the people that take the Bible for what it is. I don't try to put my own interpretation in it. It says what it says. So when you look at chapter 1, God created one man to look just like God. And the second one, he created a different man from the dust of the earth. You understand? So that means that one man has the exact image and soul complex of God. The other man doesn't. He just has the spirit of God in him because God breathed in him the breath of life. But it didn't say that in chapter 1. So people have to understand that there's two types of men that were invented on the earth at the time. Now, I'm not saying the Bible is a point of reference for this, but I'm using this to help people understand because black people especially, they know that Bible. You know what I'm saying? They'll get into that Bible.
Yes, sir.
So the point I'm trying to make is this. When Cain got kicked out of the garden, he said, God, please don't send me out there because there's men out there that's going to kill me. Now, wait a minute. According to the Bible, Adam and Eve only had Cain and Abel. Now, there's some people that say he had this and that, but they got to prove that to me. You know what I'm saying? But we know for a fact that there were already men established outside of the garden. You can't say that all of them came from Eve. Some people will say that, or Adam and Eve, some people will say that. But it's just hard to prove that. So there's other men out there. He didn't say my brothers and sisters are going to kill me. He said there's men out there that's going to kill me. So we have to understand this. Adam had one wife called Lilith, okay? And according to the Lord, she didn't want to bow down and submit herself to Adam, so God kicked her out the garden. And she became the mother of demons and the mother of, she wanted to kill the seed of Adam and all this stuff. Pay attention to that. She wanted to kill the seed of Adam, okay? Or not submit to Adam. The second wife, Eve, wanted to totally to submit to Adam until she got seduced. You understand? She was too submissive. So there has to be a balance there. So in the bedroom, when a man and woman's having sex, the woman always represents Lilith, the unsubmissive one. And what happens is, when a man can't control his ejaculation or his life force, Lilith takes it. She kills his seed. She takes it. She kills him. Because he doesn't know how to control himself. She knows in the bedroom, I'm not going to submit to this person that's below me in the bedroom. But when a man can hold his seed naturally and allow a woman to have at least 5 orgasms, it's a certain reason why I say 5. This is all tantric sex now. I ain't making this stuff up. This is all tantric stuff. When that happens, the woman turns into Eve. She becomes submissive to him. And this all happens in the bedroom. Now, through that, a baby is supposed to be born. That way the seed didn't die. The seed gave life to something. Okay? So to a degree, that's what that is in the bedroom. That's a secret thing that these European women do with these black men, and sometimes it's black women with black men. But this is actually what happens in every sexual situation. You know what I'm saying? It's a very ancient old thing that people understood, especially in the Jewish mysticism. So on a level, what I'm saying is, in relationships, we need to not just put our energy into that bedroom and because somebody makes us feel a certain way. There's deeper levels to relationships like business. Every relationship should be based on business. The man should be doing something to bring bread to the table, and a woman should be doing something to bring bread to the table. And all that should be put together to build the family up. Family is business. Everything should be based on business. Raising children should be a business. You know? Raising children should be a business. And people need to understand that. So I just wanted to break that down and give people an understanding. And I hope I didn't lose nobody on that. You know, because I went
let's talk about like what we said we were going to deal with in regards to, you know, like interracial relationships, and let's deal with that, and then after that we'll tackle is homosexuality, you know, a benefit, or is it not a benefit? How does it affect our community?
Okay.
Let's talk about those things.
Can I take off one of those?
Go ahead, brother.
All right. I just want to say interracial relationship. All right. If you outside of your race, understand that the bond you're creating is a marriage. And like we just explained on the school of thought, y'all, you got to think about it because it is a business. So when kings went out and found queen, it was a business move.
Yes, it was.
So them bloodlines came together for 2 reasons. To unify. No, I'm sorry, not 2 reasons. 3 reasons. You wanted to consolidate the wealth. You wanted to mend old feuds between families. You definitely get married for that, to calm everybody beefing down. And then the last thing is to create a new bloodline, to create a new lineage and legacy. So you're stopping the war. You're stopping the war. You're making a new situation, and you're consolidating wealth. You're stopping the war, and you're making a new deal. That's what the marriage is. And then if you're talking about a different color, you know, you got to understand those things first, because I would think that your spouse will respect you on a level. That some people marry into the wealth and not marrying into the family. So, you know, that's just my little piece, y'all.
Yeah.
I know it was posed. I know one thing was posed was, we hear people say this a lot, that, okay, we're the original man, right? And that all humanity evolved from us scientifically. We all know that it was stated that even Caucasians have evolved from us. And then some people will argue and say that, no, they were created because of the cold climate and et cetera. So if let's look at if they came from us, and this is not me agreeing with this, but this is just a question to put out there. If they came from us, then why is it that our people make such an uproar if they intermix with, the Caucasian? Now, how can you intermix with somebody who is a part of you?
Right. And to prove that they are a part of us, we can have babies with them. They are humans. You know what I'm saying? They are humans. They are just a different type of human. You know what I'm saying? You have mankind, which means you're a kind of a man, because you don't have the original blueprint, the original soul blueprint. Now, does that mean that you can't evolve? Absolutely not. You're just going to have a harder time evolving. Everybody, I don't believe everybody doesn't have a soul. There are some people on here that are soulless. They don't soul their souls, and some people are born soulless, and that goes into people who are just evil from day one. Some of these famous serial killers, y'all know, they don't have a soul. There's no way you can have a soul and murder people all your life. Even starting out murdering animals, and you go up to murdering people, and you're not a soul. You don't have a soul. And believe it or not, there are some high-level demonic gods that do put souls down here like that to do destructive evil stuff. Okay? Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, yes, when they graft themselves, and a lot of and this is why the Moors, I explained this last week, the Moors had sex with the Europeans. They couldn't give them all of the information. They didn't have enough soul power, which means that no matter how hard they tried, they could not understand the higher levels. Look at where we are since the Europeans have ran the world. The world hasn't really evolved like that. We should be flying in the sky on like the Jetsons and stuff like that. They have not let us evolve like that. And there's a certain reason why they keep black people down. Now, some people say, oh, here we go with the black people keeping down. No. I tell people all the time, look at the COINTELPRO. That proves it right there. The COINTELPRO was started to stop the rise of a black messiah. Why would the government spend so much money and put so much money into stopping African Americans from evolving? We have to really think about that stuff. Sometimes Europeans got to stop getting mad and understand this is what it is. But because they don't do the research, they only look at society as we see it today, they think black people complaining. Oh, stop it, you're being racist. No, I'm telling facts. I'm not a racist at all. I'm not a racist at all. I have white friends, people that I consider, but I talk to them the same way I'm talking to y'all. If you're going to be my friend, you have to understand this is what it is. You know? Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it every day, but if such and such happens, I need to express myself. I'm not going to not say it because you supposed to be my friend. If you're my friend, you're going to listen.
I think we need to keep the bloodline going, and not to just chime in there, because we have to do that. Like what you said, our DNA, our bloodline. You know what I'm saying? We're naturally spirit beings. You know what I'm saying?
And we have the original blueprint.
That's right. And when we integrate, we're pretty much, I would say, assisting our extinction.
Oh, now they say.
Well, let me say something like that. Let me say something about that. That's interesting what you said. What's actually happened is, and this is why Europeans will cut the penises off black men when they hung them, because they knew that the black man's penis was genocide to them. The black man's penis was genocide to them. So at the end of the day, they understood that if the black people keep having babies, they're going to wipe us out. And if they have sex with our daughters, and vice versa, if the black women have sex with white men, they're going to wipe us totally out. And the question is why? Because they're a weaker genetic structure. Black genes are dominant, white genes are recessive. Black eyes are dominant, blue eyes are recessive.
But wait, if we're talking science, it's a double whammy. You might be saying that you're creating more black people by having a white mother and a black father, but like we're talking about with the science, our soul power is diminishing with that mixed breed that was just created. And if everybody become mixed breeds, then you're still dealing with the lower end of us as creators.
But guess what though? Everybody still has that original blueprint in their body. The black man's seed, you can't get rid of that, no matter how hard you try. And one thing that we know for a fact is anybody can go Google this, right? And I first saw the article on this in 2014. And it said the European race is dying.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Did you know that over in Europe they have European women having a hard time having babies?
Yep.
This is facts. Y'all know this ain't on just no makeup news. This is ABC, CBS. This is on big time news stations. They ain't even getting pregnant unless they get pregnant by a black man.
They having deformed babies on a higher rate than anyone else as well.
Exactly. So the thing is, the truth of the matter is this. It was even in National Geographic Explorer came out with a magazine 2 or 3 years ago. It said, this is what the future race is going to look like. And it looked like a mulatto person. Which means that the vast idea of a European by 2050 will be out of here. You will not see a lot of Europeans on this planet in 2050. Yes, there will be some mulattoes, but guess what? Everybody's just going to get darker. Because you can't kill the whole black race. Everything will mix back into the dominant always. That's the way nature goes. The strongest gene survives.
Let me chime in here too. I think that what we need to do is stop making these lame excuses about turning our backs on our women because of issues. You know what I'm saying? I believe that all of us have issues psychologically that have stemmed from racism. And I truly do believe we all need to heal emotionally. You know what I'm saying? We need to heal emotionally, then we need to come together. I do not believe that, you know, because of the social ills that we have with one another due to what I foresaid, that's a reason for us not to come together. I believe that, first of all, we need to stop rushing into relationships. I believe that's one of the reasons why a lot of these things are chaotic, because the root word in relationship is relate. Is relate. You know what I'm saying? So we should be able to relate to one another and fully understand each other's struggle.
And that's our problem. We don't know how to relate to each other to a degree.
Exactly.
And a lot of that comes.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I agree.
Yeah, and that's our problem as black people. We don't want to be with that dominant female. The black woman is the most dominant entity female on the planet. So black women have attitudes, but we don't understand that's part of her character. That don't mean that she's negative. Every time because you got attitude don't mean you negative. That shows me that you have a lot of soul power. You have a lot of character about you. And that's just who she is. The thing is, us black men, a lot of times, we don't want to step up and be the man that she wants us to be.
There you go.
You understand?
Right.
Now, I'm gonna break something down scientifically real quick too. When a black woman, or let's say any woman, has her menstrual cycle, you know, every 28 days or whatever, you know, most men say, oh, she's a bitch and she's acting like a bitch and she doing, you know what I'm saying? And we don't understand that she does that to get things in order. Every 28 days, the black woman's cycle switches and she gets things in order because order comes out of chaos. So a lot of times she'll be walking around the house with attitude, yelling at people, doing what she do, but she's only doing that from a nature standpoint because order comes out of chaos. She creates chaos to get everybody in line. Oh, your mama got attitude, boy, you better clean your room. You know what I'm saying? Mama doing this, you better get this done. You know what I'm saying? Hey. And yeah, go ahead, brother.
I got a question now. And it's going to dip into a little bit of science as well. So now we're talking about on planet Earth, we're dealing with everything and everybody. So, all right, biology. We know that we have something called the Neanderthal. We have something called the Homo sapien. And then we have something called the Homo erectus. That sounds kind of funny, but these are different species of a humanoid. So when you guys use the word, and we all understand the terminology of dominant gene, and we understand superior race, and all these terms, how in the world y'all expecting to have an equality type of relationship when we dip it into these specific terms, and we understand that we were trying to relate it to how we can all coexist on the same plane. But we got superiority, we got dominance, and we got all this. So how do you relate in relationships on the same plane? And you're telling me that the black woman is a god, but I've been a white man my whole life, and we've been shitting on them the whole time. So,
well, let me tell you a secret. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry, finish.
I just was saying, when we talk about the science of biology, it turns into social science. So now we're in a social situation where, the platforms that we got, white man's world, black man universe, what plane are we playing on? What level of consciousness are we supposed to stay on as black men and have relationships with these humanoids out there?
Well, yeah, well, I think you asked 2 or 3 questions in that in that statement, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
The top question is, how do black men have relationships with the rest of the world? Because we dealing with, let them tell it, we the bottom of the food chain, and we're the frowned upon as far as the Webster Dictionary goes.
Right.
So we dealing with a relationship. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, to answer your first question, the black man relates to the rest of the world by knowing who he is.
There you go.
When a black man knows himself, there's nothing more powerful than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I remember Dr. Delbert Blair said the first people that supported him in the 1970s and 80s when he was a metaphysician was white people, because white people was already into the spirit. They were already into the spiritual stuff. The black conscious community wasn't even really out there like that. When Delbert Blair hit the scene and started lecturing, he said his first lecture of people that supported him was Europeans. Why? Because Europeans was ahead of us in that aspect. They was already into the spiritual stuff. You see what I'm saying? They already knew.
The Europeans was ahead of us as African Americans, or ahead of
yes,
us as...
they was ahead of us on the intellectual level.
Okay.
They could never be ahead of you on a genetic level. They know that. They could never do that. But they were ahead of us on a psychological and a mental level, because they were into the sciences that we created, that we were scared of. We were taught to follow Allah and taught to follow Jesus Christ. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, black people was not awake. You had a few that was around doing their things, but Dr. Ben and them just started hitting the scene in the early 80s. They really just started hitting the scene and started creating this whole, him and John Henry Clark, they really just started creating this whole movement. And I'm not talking about the black civil rights movement. That's not consciousness. That's just black people fighting for their rights. I'm talking about when we started to get knowledge. Black people just started to get knowledge about who they was in the late 70s, early 80s. And Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark is the forerunners of that. And we got people like Bobby Hemming and Phil Valentine that took it to a spiritual level. So black people can get on a deeper level about who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a sad thing, but it's true. We just start waking up. So to a degree, Europeans on a spiritual level are ahead of us. We only have a few.
What you said right there, Joe. I like what you said right there, man. I got the time in on this because of the simple fact that you said something to me that's very significant. You said spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Us evolving. I think because we're talking about relating. We're talking about relating. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that we have to first, the man and the woman, we have to psychologically heal. You know what I'm saying? And our minds, evolve to that spiritual level, like you said, because remember earlier we talked about what? The relationship is soul first.
That's right.
It's souls. You know what I'm saying? So if you have, you and I both know it's like a magnet. If you flip it over, one is positive, one is negative, it won't even come together. You know what I'm saying? So if you have two people with two different mindsets, you know what I'm saying, on two different, thinking processes, then you're never jail. For instance, like we talked about, G's up, hoes down, she a hoe. You know what I'm saying? No respect for our sisters. And I believe that's what needs to happen. Is that a lot of our women have a hard time dealing with us is because of our mindset about a woman.
Right.
And this is where us honoring our women as queens. And I believe they're also stripping us of our spirituality, knowing that there are goddesses. Knowing that there is. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that if a man constantly hear about, well, God, Jesus, God, never a woman, nowhere in the picture. You know what I'm saying? I believe that the diminishing, even stripping us of our spirituality of the female is an issue. You know what I'm saying? We need to honor them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And respect them and to cherish them And this is why I'm glad we're having this conversation, because we're talking about the problem. Now let's talk about the issue. I mean, so solving the issue. Let's resolve the issue. How do we go about doing this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I believe that now we have to get the views changed, which we all know evolves from the mind.
Right.
And
right.
spirituality, I believe, is a big step on that, man. You know what I'm saying? Taking back, like you said, being the head, right? So, okay, stripping our, like yourself, you know, you change your name. You know what I'm saying? Me changing my name. My wife changing her name. You know what I'm saying? Just reuniting us with who we are, our culture. Because that's the relation. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to our grounding, man, to our roots. You know what I'm saying? Of what it is to have a tribe. You know what I'm saying? What it is to truly be a family, because I believe that's what a lot of the problem is that a lot of people don't have the full spectrum of family. And then we got two different families, right? We got, okay, my wife is raised one way. I'm raised another way. You know what I'm saying? You know, I believe in putting my needs before my wants, and not my wife in particular. Now I'm talking about right now. And well, you know, she believes in, you know, putting her wants before her needs, or he believes in putting his wants before his needs, and she believes in putting her needs before her wants. You see what I'm saying? So you got these different mindsets. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has to get on one accord.
Right.
One accord.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And bring together this energy, because we all know unity is energy, like what you mentioned earlier. Why is there so much chaos? Because there is no unity.
That's right. That's right. That's right. People don't know how to relate to each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it is. And that goes into what I was saying is the solution to this. Black men, we need to know who we are. See, because the black woman is the key to this. Once we raise her up, we raise humanity up. And that's just the facts. Yes, sir.
The whole currency structure and the whole way that we earn money is centered around not allowing you to know yourself. The whole world is built and based off that. So,
right.
It's a struggle and a battle in that itself. But I definitely got that out of what you said. Thanks for answering that question. Yeah, it is. Black man must know that self to be able to have a relationship in the world.
Yes, exactly. And the whole world is centered around you not knowing yourself, but that can't stop you. It didn't stop me. I was raised in a Christian family. Everybody was a Christian in my family. I'm talking about hardcore Christians. You know what I'm saying? You went to church 3-4 times a week, and the days you didn't go to church, you was going to choir practice, building fund meeting. You know what I'm saying? It's like Steve Harvey said. He said he went to church every day with something going on. And that's how it was in my church. You know what I'm saying? We went to church all the time. So you would think that you would think that your children will grow up the same way. And 9 times out of 10, that do happen. You know what I'm saying? But that can't stop you, because everything is centered around stopping us. We must continue to move forward. We must continue to find out who we are. And there's only one way only that you're going to do that. That's getting over fear. Once a black man can get past fear of what he thinks he knows and goes into what he don't know, which is the hidden treasure, that darkness, that unknown, that's when he finds himself. That's when he truly finds himself, when he walks through that dark cave and he sees that light at the end of the tunnel. So this is how we fix it. This is how we fix it. We must raise ourselves up as men so we can give women a foundation to stand on. We can give our children a foundation to stand on. You see what I'm saying? Once we do that and we train, a woman will naturally follow. That's all a woman really wants, is a man who knows what he's doing. At the end of the day, that's it. If he knows what he's doing, he has some type of knowledge about who he is, and he can give it to her, she's going to love it. I mean, Christian, my wife is a spiritual person. I have female friends. I have male friends. I also know different women who are still Christians, who, when I start breaking down science about Egyptian history and different sciences about different things, they love it. They love listening to it. They love hearing it. So I think to myself, and guess what? They all singles. So I think to myself, if a brother was able to approach them, he had his mind right, and a brother was able to break down the same information I'm telling her, she can have a man. You see what I'm saying? She could have somebody. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is, a lot of these men in church don't really know themselves. They think they know themselves because they got God. And I'm not saying that they're not good men, but the thing is, a woman wants to be stimulated mentally also.
Mm-hmm.
A woman loves when she can sit there and just ask a man different questions. A black man should be studying every single day. If you don't like to read books, then you need to be on that YouTube, that internet. You need to be studying something every single day. That's how we wake the family up. That's how we move forward. You know,
right, now,
and that's how we evolve.
Let's break into this. You know what I'm saying? Because we said we were going to touch on the homosexual side, and so I'll kick it off on this aspect. You know, I personally believe that the reason why it does us no good is because we can't reproduce.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We cannot reproduce. You know what I'm saying? You cannot multiply. You know what I'm saying? That both of you are the same sex. Now, I know somebody can say that they can go and get, you know, artificial insemination and what have you, but that seed still came from a man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I truly do believe that it's off balance. Now I know you know some spiritual things about why people are that way. I'm simply talking about relationship. You know, the family structure. That is not, you know what I'm saying, a solid family structure. I believe that's not the way, you know, the universe had intended for it to be. You know what I'm saying? At least in this realm. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, the man is supposed to be with the woman and the woman with the man. I believe the reproductive organs are a perfect example of that. You know what I'm saying? Just like a receptacle, you know, a plug, you know what I'm saying? Two plugs can't come together and make electricity. You know what I'm saying? You got the receptacle made to receive the plug, and thus now you have power. You know what I'm saying? You have the energy. You have the life cycle continuum. Life, you know, energy, life. You know what I'm saying? We know that it's energy. You know what I'm saying? So I do not believe, you know what I'm saying, that it's healthy for us. Also, I believe that a man cannot be a leader being a homosexual. Now, I know some may disagree with that, you know what I'm saying, but you walking around acting like a female, you know what I'm saying, you're disoriented, you don't even know your sexual, you know, identification, you know what I'm saying, and you're walking around like a female. You're a limp wrist, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to battle, how can you win any battle? You're acting like a female. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be that masculine. I believe each one of us have our place. The female has hers. The male has his place. And I personally believe that it's just simply, it's pretty much out of order. Now the floor is open for you two brothers to comment, and then after you two brothers comment, we would like to also open up the phone lines and let some of our listeners, if they're out there, to be able to ask questions or make a statement.
Yes. Brother David, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, it don't even need to be discussed on my end. Homosexuality is trash. Sorry, y'all. I mean,
yes, sir.
Because it don't even fit right with the advancement of a black male. Speaking as a black male, it don't advance right, man. And then I dealt with corporate America where white men get the job, women definitely get the job, and gay black men get the job, but the man who y'all say y'all want in y'all house don't get the job. So how you gonna have a provider and he can't provide? So, you know, the whole Dyke situation, raising men, and the men is real because they say you're real, you know, it's just a whole paradigm of a confusing situation. And, you know, you just add an extra layer to this universe that don't even need to be added, you know, because as African descent, we had this thing, civilization already mapped out, and we was living it, and it was easy. Do your thing and make yourself and feed your family. Do your thing and feed your family. Now it's just so much added into it, and you know, it ain't the homosexual community's fault, but you know, I just noticed a whole lot of just a lot of flaw shit came with it. You know, that's all I can say. It's just not nothing that I would like to be involved with. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my piece on it because let me tell you something. As a metaphysical guy, you know, I get this question all the time, man. It's like what if you whatever field you're in, if you're a doctor or a lawyer, I'm pretty sure there's always one question that you get all the time. This is the main question I get. What you think about homosexuals and lesbians and all this, you know? And I used to struggle answering that question, you know, so I used to have to go within. During my astral travels, I would ask different entities, different questions. I would meet, believe it or not, on a higher level, entities that I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, man. I was on this one planet, and you know, I know some people are like, man, I don't believe that, but it's okay. I'm gonna just tell y'all my experience. I was on this one planet where it was a group of entities that whatever you like, they would turn themselves into it. That's what they was. So you would see men, masculine entities walking with masculine entities, holding hands, and you would see feminine entities walking with feminine, and you would see male and female looking entities walking with each other. You would see that. And whatever they, because it was based on love. It wasn't based on, you know, just the physical aspect of it. So this is what I believe, right? I won't say it's a fact or what I know. I just say what I believe to be safe. On a physical level, it's without a shadow of a doubt that homosexuality is an issue of, you know, people have. It is basically an issue of it's not right on a physical level, because if it was, then two men could have a baby, two women could have a baby, right? So I can't deny on a physical level that homosexuality would not be right to a degree. Now, does that stop two men from loving each other or two women? Now, I'm not comfortable with that. You know, as loving as I try to be to everybody, I don't like seeing two men kiss. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I'm not into that. You know what I'm saying? It makes me uncomfortable. Okay? Now, one thing about me, I'm very transparent. I don't lie to nobody. I am who I am. So, at the end of the day, you know, even when I go back and forth and I debate with people, talk to people, sometimes they'll talk to me like I'm lying. Like, oh, you should know this. And I say, look, this is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I was, me personally, I was in a gay wedding with two women. That's right. Like I said, I'm transparent and open. I ain't got nothing to hide. My cousin is a lesbian woman, and I was in her wedding, and I marched down the aisle with a woman now. As I told her straight up, as long as I'm marching with a woman, I'm good. And all the men in that group marched with women. And she married the woman today who was considered to be her wife. And it wasn't until I understood it on a deeper level, now, if it was a male cousin of mine that was gay, then no, I couldn't do that because it don't make me feel comfortable. I just ain't, you know, I couldn't do it. But because I love my cousin and I wanted to be there for her, I said, yeah, you know what? A lot of our family may not come because we hardcore Christians, but you know what? I'll be there. I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'll be there. But at the end of the day, me personally, I don't hate homosexuals. I wish them the best, and I do believe that two men and two women, homosexual people, can be in love. Now, can they have babies? Of course not. But one thing is true. I had to tell this to a brother. You know, I know for a fact this one guy hate homosexuals. And I had to tell him, I said, look, man, at the end of the day, you might as well get over the anger stuff. Why, man? They going to wipe out our people. I said, look, man, you getting angry, you ain't going to be able to stop it. It's just like the white man who hated black men years ago. You could never stop the black man from growing. It's part of society. It's nothing you can do. The best thing you can do is teach your children what the difference is and what is what. But homosexuality has incorporated itself into society today. And if a person's angry about it, that's all you can really do about it, because you're not going to kill all the homosexuals. It ain't going to happen. It's something that's impeded itself in society, and it will not ever be stopped. It is a new program on the system.
Cool. And on that though, man, because
and I know that's an uncomfortable topic for people, but I just had to get that out.
No. It's all right. It's all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody have a right to express the way they feel. That's one thing I love about our broadcast. We all get to express the way I feel. However, you know, we want to open up the lines now to our listeners that's out there. If you're out there, just push *6, and this is an opportunity for you to either ask a question or for you to make a statement. So if you have anything you'd like to say or ask, push *6, and the line is open now for you to do so. All right.
Nobody right now.
Okay, wonderful. So, all right, brothers, with that being said, anybody would like to make their closing remarks?
No, I could just give my email address, Yusuf, Chief Yusuf youseffbay@gmail.com if anybody wants to ask me questions or contact me. Also, you can contact me on my Instagram, New Life Tools, NULYFETOOLS at gmail. Or New Life Tools on Instagram.
Brother David? Brother David, you still there?
He must have canceled out. His phone must have went out.
All right.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I had it on mute so y'all wouldn't hear the noise. But anyway, _Black_Sheep. Black Sheep on Instagram. That's me. And I just want to say really quick, I'm in charge of the media for the Tiger Trail Festival 2018. So please come to Pompano, Florida. It is in Pompano Beach, and I'm pushing a term called Afrofuturism. So I got a lecture coming up, and I also mentor children. But if you want some intelligent ignorance, go to my Instagram, _Cap.
All right, and I'm Brother Amar, AMARE, AMARI. You can find me on Facebook. But on Instagram now, it's under Black Community Empowerment. Black Community Empowerment. You can find me on Instagram. And also we have a Facebook page, same name, and also a Facebook group, same name. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Black Community Empowerment. Also our YouTube channel again, BC Empowerment. You can go there. You can check out our videos. Also on there we have a playlist with health tips. All right? I'm talking about a master herbalist that's on there. If you have anybody in your family have any type of cancers or any type of ailments, you could go to our health and wellness playlist on there. It'll bring healing to you. And also, if you have any interest in the spiritual guide, Yosef, I know that you and I had talked about this, man. Are you still open for people to call you for counseling sessions?
Yes, people can call me for counseling sessions if they have any questions or anything. Email me first, and we'll work something out. You can email me at Chief CHIEF Yousef YOSEF at gmail.com.
All right.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Chief Yousef Bey, BEY at gmail.com. Thank you.
All right. All right. So thank you, family, for everybody that's listening to School of Thought. As we have aforesaid, every Sunday at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Telephone number 218-339-6430. Access code 1122. Peace.
Wait a minute, cousin. Wait a minute. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? I don't know if you want to let the people know that we may be doing video soon. So they may be catching us on there soon and not always on a conference call. But it could be a possibility, family, that we could be doing a video live stream soon so people can chime in on that way. And, just so that people know.
Thank you for putting that out there. Thank you for putting that out there. It totally slipped my mind.
And we'll be putting it out there for people to know.
All right.
Bigger and better, baby.
All right, family. Peace. Peace.
Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. This is just an announcement. I have changed the group name. It was once called Black Community Empowerment. Wanted to move away from that word, and I wanted to reshape our thinking because that is a color. So what I did was I changed the name of the group to Tribal Unity Organization. I did that because we all come from a tribe. I would like to reshape the thinking of our people. I like to help assist in that area. I myself personally, I'm even changing my name from a European name to an African name, my wife and I. And so thus I want us to move away from these terminologies that really does not identify us. Either, you're a Ghanaian, you're Ashanti, you're Bantu, you're Igbo, you're one of those. So we need to reshape our thinking to, tribal thinking. I also wanted to name it that tribal unity. There's also tribalism. We have a lot of fights amongst ourselves, even over in the motherland. There is tribalism going on, and one tribe think that they're better than another tribe, and this thing goes all the way back in ancient times, and there's wars going on. It's time for peace. It's time to simply just draw the line. It's time for us to wake up. Jones is not your last name. Williams is not your last name. It's not your last name. Smith is not your last name. Thomas is not your last name, and etc. That is the name of your slave master that used that name to brand our forefathers and also up to date us. So what we need to do is rid ourselves of these European ideologies. I submit to you for you to do your DNA test. That's what I did too. Right now I'm waiting for the results. I'm further along in the process now. I'm happy about that. I'm excited to find out, the various tribes that my family is actually affiliated with. I know one of them is Cherokee. I do know that, speaking to my elders within my tribe. My grandmother told me this. We need unity. We need organization. Together, everyone accomplishes more. That's what team stands for. In my viewpoint, together we all accomplish more. We're never above our people. I don't care how wealthy you are. If your people are still poor, if they're hungry, if they're starving, if they're thirsty, if they're naked, then guess what? We're starving, we're hungry, and we're naked, and we're poor. We are never, hear me well, we are never above our people. You may not personally directly be experiencing prejudice, you may say, but your brother and sister is. Therefore, you are. It's time to unify and get that mind. What happens to one of us happens to all of us. When one of our brothers and sisters lose their son, lose a family member due to hate crimes, due to any type of violence, due to systemic oppression, whether it's here or whether it's in another continent, we are still going through this together. We need to unify. We need to have this mentality. Together, everyone accomplishes more. Teamwork makes the dream work. Networking, one of the definitions is a core group of individuals that have the same goal, that has the same mindset. Listen, we're going to disagree as family. I want to get rid of this myth that, there's no unity because we don't agree. That is far from the truth. That is far from the truth. My wife and I, we are a united couple. We are a strong African family, but we don't see eye to eye all the time, but we're still married. Married means to be one. We're still unified. So we need to get this out of our mind that because we disagree, that we're discombobulated. That is a lie. That's not the truth. None of us are going to agree on everything. None of us, hear me well, none of us are going to agree on everything. We need one common goal. You know what that is? To unify and to help our people to evolve and to help our people spiritually, economically, health-wise. Okay? That's what we need to do. Spiritual, economics, and health. That's what we need. Entrepreneurship. We need a core group of people that network. We need you to come into the Tribal Unity Organization. If you are a black dentist, if you are a black lawyer, if you are a entrepreneur of any kind, if you sell beauty products, if you sell any hygiene type of products, We want to connect with you. Today, we want to create a modern day, if you will, green book. If you don't know what that is, check the history on the green book. All right. It deals with businesses that we can go to, that we can empower our people. If you know of any black-owned banks, I know everybody can Google it. Doesn't matter. If you know of any type of restaurants, I'm talking about car dealerships. I don't care if it's in another country. It doesn't matter. We may have somebody that's going to move in that particular country within the continent of the motherland, and we can link them with that organization. We need to stop thinking that just because we're not in the same diaspora that we can't share information with one another. Doesn't matter if you're in Virginia, doesn't matter if you're in North Carolina, doesn't matter where you are. We are one. One, hear me now. We are one. And the sooner that we recognize that, the better off we'll be. Let's stop just unifying during traumatic times. Post 9/11, murders, throughout the United States. Why does something tragic have to happen before we come together? Let's stop allowing unity to be a thought in our mind when something tragic is happening. When one of our brothers, sisters are getting killed, or either they're being discriminated against because they have hair and nobody wants to hire them. Listen, that's a beautiful thing. We bind together. That's wonderful. But again, why does it have to be something traumatic to happen for us to come together? It should not be that way. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be. We need to be introduced for some, all right, to our spirituality. We need to be introduced for some to our culture. Listen, I'm guilty of walking around not recognizing I had a European name. I'm guilty of walking around not thinking about I'm speaking a European language. For those of you who say that people who speak proper and they're African within this continent, that they speak white, I want to bring something to your attention. You talk white too. Because if you speak English, you're talking white. If you don't speak your dialect, then you're talking white. If you don't know your tribal language and you're talking some other language, you're talking white. So you need to wake up and recognize that we're all speaking white, those of us who don't speak our native tongue. Again, this is about unity. This is about love. This is about strength. This is not about racism. This is not about prejudice. This is about us coming together as a family. No matter what your last name is, we're family. I want to bring this to some of your attention. You must remember we was brought over here on the slave ships. We were divided throughout the continent. Some of our families were sent up north. Some were sent far west. Some were sent Midwest. Some were sent down here. Our tribes were divided. So we need to stop thinking because our last name is Jones, Moore, Williams, John, that is not your last name. Again, I cannot stress this enough. That's the name of your slave master. If you're getting ready to have a child, I pray you would consider what I'm saying. Don't give that child a European name. Don't continue to pass on that slave name. Think about that. That's what you're doing every time that child have a child and they name that child that last name. That's the ownership of that slave master. This cycle has to be broken. We cannot be afraid, because if fear gripped our ancestors, we wouldn't be where we are today. Even though we're still in the struggle, even though we're still fighting to be free, even though we're still fighting for equality, we still can't give up the fight. It's not over until it's over. So again, my YouTube channel is Tribal Unity Organization. I want to pass that to all of you, those of you follow me on YouTube. It is Tribal Unity Organization, just like the Facebook group and page. Tribal Unity Organization. I'm the one that changed it. I have not been hacked. All right. I did that myself. Peace and blessings. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Remember, Tribal Unity Organization. Feel free to go there, post your business there, okay? Even if it's not a business, if you're a person that's a motivational speaker or you're doing anything to enhance our people, I need you to go into there. I need you to share. Sharing is caring, brothers and sisters. It doesn't take much. It doesn't cost you a dime to share somebody's business. It doesn't cost a dime to share information. Not one thing. It doesn't cost you not 1 cent for you to push that share button and to share your brothers and sisters' business. Why does it always have to be about you? Why is it that you go in people group and you post your stuff, but you don't share nobody else's stuff? Enough is enough, man. Enough of the selfishness. We need to be one. Share. Share, share, share. You want everybody to share your stuff. You want everybody, oh, come support me. But what are you doing for your fellow man? You reap what you sow. You do nothing for nobody else, and nothing will be done for you. You'll continue to scrape the bottom of the mill barrel until you learn unity. Peace.